Hey there, and welcome back to No Reservations, Kasey Anton's guide to restaurant success. And this is episode number 15, The Art of Hospitality. My absolute heart and soul goes into this episode. I probably said something similar about other episodes, but I also have always mentioned that hospitality is my reason, it's my purpose, it runs through my blood. It is so important to me. So I love, love, love this episode. And here we go. So I can't I can't say how I came upon hospitality other than starting to work in restaurants when I was 13 years old. But even before that, I would experience it when I would, go out to eat. Very infrequently went out to a couple of, hotels with my family. I'm telling you, I think twice that I can remember my whole life that we went to hotels. But um, I think for some reason, hospitality service just entered into my bloodstream then and was only amplified when I actually came into the workforce and saw what it can do, how it can inspire, how it can make people happy. And that's what filled my cup. So that's why hospitality is just so incredibly important to me. And it's also something that I had assumed that everybody thought about or it was part of their everyday life experience. And it's not. And it's probably simply because they either were not exposed to it or just don't think about it as well, certainly as much as I do. So this is a great day to be recording this episode because at my weekly huddle, so every Monday, my entire team and I, we get together via either in person or remote. Usually it's a combination of both. So all of us are there. And we always have one kind of topic or training or something that happens. And, I've been planning them out for a while. And today I wanted to speak to them about hospitality because I've always ingrained it in what we do here. Of course, we're not a restaurant, right? So we are Spark Business Consulting. We do bookkeeping, accounting, profit first, and financial consulting for small businesses in several different industries. That's what we do here. Don't serve food, don't serve drinks. Well, I mean, we do in the snack room downstairs. But that's about it. But that doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be a restaurant because there are so many ways that we can be hospitable to our clients. So over the years, I've tried different things and they've all been great at it. We do special like birthday gifts. We do anniversary gifts for our clients. We do holiday theme things. And that's just kind of basic. I think a lot of service-based companies can or should do just those things anyway. But I wanted to always be different. I wanted to kind of stand apart. So I implemented this program, this thing, for lack of a better word, called the Above and Beyond. And basically, I would challenge my staff to look for small above and beyond moments where our clients could be seen. And most of it, and it really could be just a simple email to the client. Hey, I was thinking about you, or hey, I saw this article or I saw this post or whatever and thought you might be interested. It could be as simple as that. I just wanted our clients to know they were seen and to do that over and over and over again. That was so important. So, and we would do rewards for the staff that would engage in doing that and things like that. And it went great. It went great. But then we went, kind of off and on to other things. But hopefully that mentality of above and beyond stayed with them. And overall, for the most part, it has, especially the team that's been with me for the longest. They kind of know that's, hospitality is in my blood. And so they're kind of, it's kind of ingrained in theirs too, I would say by now. But today, I wanted to kind of circle back and I wanted to really dig deep into why hospitality is so incredibly important, how we can get even better at it, and not only how, but why. So here's what happened. I wrote a book. You probably know that. I wrote the book over the last couple of years, but it came out last June. Oh, the birthday's in 10 days. Came out June 27, 2023, called Profit First for Restaurants. Most of you know that. About 6 or 7 months before the launch of my book, when I was just kind of finishing up the final chapters, My editor wanted me to have pre-readers, so it'd be people who would be my ideal reader. So this would be restaurateurs, chef-driven restaurants, small business restaurant owners, things like that. I set out to find about 20 to 25 of them across the globe, across the country. Most of them, a lot of them, probably about half right here, because that was kind of my, that was on my contact list for people I've known from when I was in the industry, and asked if they would be an advanced reader of my book and to give me feedback before I finalized the last chapters and it went to the publisher. So one of them, Chef Andy Husbands, who's a chef owner and he owns a bunch of places right now, great, great guy. He had recommended to me a book called Unreasonable Hospitality, and I had not even heard of it. And this must have been last October or November of 2023. No, of 2022. That's when he told me about it, in 2022. And I didn't know about it, but I had read um, Setting the Table. So that was Will, the author of Unreasonable Hospitalities. That was his boss, right? Danny Myers. So I had read that. And he goes, "Oh yeah, well, Will, who they used to work together, and Will was, a partner of 11 Madison Park. He wrote this other book. He's like, it's really good." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll check that out." I mean, I think I read it in one sitting, and it's a big book. Not only did this book, Unreasonable Hospitality, speak to me, I felt like I read it. And as a matter of fact, 'cause I wrote to the author right after I finished reading it, there are some lines in his book that almost mirror the exact lines in my book, which is eerily, it's almost looked like I copied, which I didn't even know about this book when I wrote my book. So I think that's probably half the reason why I reached out to the author to say, listen, my book's coming out and here it is, and here's what it's about, and here's a free copy. But I just want you to know we have a lot of similarities, but I didn't even know about your book at the time. So I was just putting it out there. There was no plagiarism. We just think and we speak a lot of like myself and this author, Will Guidara of Unreasonable Hospitality. So fast forward to now. He was in Boston and he was speaking at a Mass Restaurants United mini, like little conference on hospitality last Monday. And I said, "Oh, great. I bought my ticket. I went into the city to listen to him speak. And it was even more inspiring. I mean, he basically told the stories he told in the book, but just to hear it live and in person in the small Huntington Theater was just fantastic. So I'm like, this is what I need to bring back to my staff. So I went on YouTube and I found Will's TEDx talk. So it's just about a 13, 14-minute TEDx talk that he gave in New York with the same exact stories about hospitality, about the book. And that's probably, the bandwidth that my staff will have on a Monday morning to entertain me. So this morning I played the TEDx talk by Will Guidara, and I have to say that they seem very, very captivated by it. It was great. It still gives me goosebumps to think about it. I could probably listen to it 10 times and still get goosebumps because it's really that good if you believe so strongly in hospitality as I do. But to boil it down, there are 3 points that he brings up in his speech, in his book as well, but in his speech that I related to what we do here. And the first one on how to be unreasonably hospitable, how you execute unreasonable hospitality. The first one is being present. And that is something that I have always tried to instill. I just didn't have the words like Will does to instill them into my staff, but I would tell them, like, when you're working on a specific client, even if it's just one of our little baby clients, a 2-hour a month client, I need you to be all in. I need that client to be the world to you for those 2 hours. We give 110% to every client when it's their turn. So being present, not only like just in, putting numbers in boxes and reconciling the accounts, but also in the client's website, their business, what's going on, the history, the future, all those things. Be all in on that client for those hours and show it to them when you wrap up an email or a video or a meeting or a call with them. Show them that. Be present for them. So that was number 1, be present. The second one was to take your work seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously. And again, this is something that I've always tried to instill in my team, in that our work should be perfect. It should be flawless. It's actually quite difficult to make a mistake in the work that we do if you're paying attention, because everything has to balance, it has to add up, it has to balance, it has to reconcile. That's just the work that we're in, right? So if things aren't balancing, then you know you've made a mistake and you fix it. So it's hard to make a mistake if we're following all the steps that we follow to reconcile a set of books. It's just hard to do. Do we do it? Sure. Do other people do it? All the time. But we do it, and it's only because we're not paying attention. We'll make a mistake because we're not focused. And then here's what happens. As we do our final review before it goes to the clients, that's when we find our mistakes. So, oh, wait, that shouldn't go there. Oh, I'm going to move this here. I'm going to rename this, whatever. So we, 99.9% of the time find our mistakes before it goes to the client. But the only reason we made them in the first place is because we weren't all in. We weren't focused. So our work already is perfect, is what I will say. But we don't have to take ourselves so seriously beyond that work. And sometimes we'll get, clients that are on a loan document deadline, or, something that is 100% their fire drill and not ours. And sometimes some, members of the team can get very worked up about it because they know the client's upset, or that, the client has a sense of urgency, it becomes theirs. And I always have to remind them to take a giant step back and think, no, there's no emergencies in accounting. We know what we're doing. We can figure it out. Take a breath. Let's add some levity to the situation. We'll get them what they need. I know their hair is on fire. I get it. It doesn't mean our hair has to be on fire. So that's where you don't have to take yourself so seriously. We're not solving world peace. We're not doing brain surgery, right? We're creating financials. We're doing it right because we know how to do it. That's our expertise, right? That is our method of excellence. That's what we do. And we can be fun about it. And that's probably why we have a lot of work, is because we make this shit fun. And then the last lesson that he teaches in terms of executing unreasonable hospitality is that one size fits one. And this was super appropriate and kind of ironic for us, because a couple of years ago, I ended up moving. We used to do 3 sizes of packages: small, medium, and large, to kind of fit everybody who came through our doors. If you were a tiny little business and you only wanted a little bit, we had this baby little small package we could offer you. If you were a bigger business or had big plans and growth and strategy and all these things that you wanted, well, here's a success level package we could do. We got away from doing that. There was many reasons why we did, and we came up with what we called the one and only package. That's legit the name, because what we ended up doing a few years ago is figuring out who are our most successful clients, what services were they getting the most out of, and put together a package based on that, on the success of the most successful clients, and said, okay, this is what we want everyone to do, because we know that we can produce success for them with this package. But to be quite honest, success is measured differently by whomever you ask. So I think in a way, we might have shot ourselves in the foot a little bit by only offering this package. Our heart was in the right place. We wanted to help them be successful. We wanted clients that wanted to be aggressive and grow and be strong and love their businesses and love growing it. But it's not for everybody. So we're actually rethinking that, and we're going to redo our packages one more time and try and offer some that are much more custom, because one size does fit one. And we really, because we believe in hospitality, we believe in customization. We want people to feel like we hear you, we see you. This is what will work best for you. And maybe it's a simple baby 1 hour a month package, and this is what we can deliver for that. Or maybe it's the entire kitchen sink, and we can deliver that. So the art of hospitality is absolutely something that we will perfect and work on every single day. I highly recommend getting the book Unreasonable Hospitality. If you're watching this, you can actually see the book I'm holding up on screen. We actually have a bonus going out right now. I don't know if this episode will come out when it's going out. If you highlight your favorite restaurant, we are sending this book and Proper First Restaurants out to people, because I feel like if you have these 2 books for a restaurant, you will absolutely become unstoppable. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for listening. Again, please, please, please share this podcast with anyone that you think might enjoy it or get something out of it. Like it, comment on it. We'd love to spread the word. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time.